Round 2. Hi. I've been cooling down after the first one. If you're watching on the VODs, this one comes directly after the priest, which should be uploaded like the day before. I tend to upload like one video a day at 10 a.m. Sometimes I'll upload a second video at 4 in the afternoon if I'm trying to catch up. But this one is going to be a very different style. So Vsauce here, Vsauce Starfrost, is a character from a more modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetypes. To give a short rundown, a few years back, Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game and Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime split. It used to be that a lot of the cards that were being printed in the game were cards, archetypes, things from the anime where maybe we're adding more, maybe we're changing things, but like they're talking to each other. The anime and the cards are in conversation. That split meant that the TCG and OCG were free to do whatever they wanted. The anime swapped off to Rush Duels. Rush Duels didn't get a paper release outside of Japan. So there are a lot of story beats and archetypes and things that are built into the game, the paper game, of brand new storylines, cards, archetypes, etc. Vsauce is one of those. This would be same as like Branded, same as like World Legacy, same as Diabellstar and the Goblins. Those are all their own beats. And Vsauce is a man who has lost his emotions and is going to go on a journey from plane to plane, finding versions of himself that are based in one emotion. We're gonna deal with the Scareclaws, who are the emotion of fear. We're going to be dealing with the Tearlaments, sadness. We're going to be dealing with wrath. We're going to be dealing with joy. This is an adaptation, like a story following Vishnu, and the cycle of samsara is what we're doing here. This is a little more explicit in the later cards in the storyline. Trivikarma, literally Vsauce samsara, things like that. But like we're going to be walking through these different archetypes that represent different emotions that Vsauce lost, thanks to the Veda. All that's to say, I need to go turn off a bot. Hi, one moment. Oof! This is great. We rotoscoped some art out of specific cards for this. That's great. Is that a cardboard cutout? That's a piece of art, like, pulled out of an art. Like, the cycle of samsara takes another victim. 1 second here. There is Vsauce and Vsauce. Yes. Oof. All right, hold on. Let's turn off the priest. I am just here in the void. To the void! Ah! The cycle continues. It's funny thinking about the endless cycle of samsara, as like the most recent patch of Star Rail has Finan and such. Anyway, that's not for here. That's for I don't know, a different stream. Anyway, all that stuff I said about Vishnu and the cycle of samsara still stands. Let's learn about Vsauce. But yeah, this is a piece. I think this is actually Samsara. I think this is Vsauce Samsara's art. The card named that. What does our deck look like? We got strikes. We got blocks. This is these are pulled off of specific card arts. This one, I think that's Shangri-Ira, the Kashtira there. And then we've got Clear New World. This was the card that kind of started the story beat off. It also sort of ends it, funnily enough. Discard a card, draw a random card of a different card type. Okay. So we this is expensive, but upgraded it's a lot better where it lets us cycle a skill becomes an attack and attack becomes a skill. Sure. Anyway. A hand containing the power of creation derived from Vsauce's emotions. Gain a random buff. So, okay. Our starting deck tells us nothing about the mod. We got strikes, we got defends, and we've got a tutor piece that I want to upgrade or remove because I want that to be playable. Lose all your gold for a rare card? 1, 2, 3. If I'm not hitting a shop, sure. Trisukta? So, Trisukta is another character. This is a Tearlaments, little mermaid, who Vsauce helps out in the second leg of his journey. She helps fighting off, that's Rhino Heart. The Mannadium are joy as the emotion. Looks like we're doing orbs because they all live in these little... all of the cards for Mannadium that aren't the... Ooh, Tearlaments Crime. Okay. That's cute. Oh, we are trying to... I see. We're trying to do specifically all the things about all the different archetypes. Okay, this means I need to explain 4 different archetypes. So, there are 4 main archetypes, as I mentioned: joy, fear, wrath, and sadness, that make up the different Vsauce archetypes. Kashtira is the wrath one. They interact with Banished Cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is going to interact with exhausting cards. Can be attained from evolving a creature. Most elites evolve into themselves. Evolving, okay. That must be how we get extra deck monsters. Inflict 2 stacks of debuffs based on the number of exhausted cards. Weak, vuln, poison, slow, lose strength, stun, and then purge this card. Purge means that this is gone and we don't get to spend it. We don't get to recur it if there's cards that recur. Tearlaments Crime. This is Sadness. We can see Vsauce here. Tearlaments want you to discard them to the in Yu-Gi-Oh! They activate when sent to the grave as an effect, and will do something in that nature rather than the normal effect. So in here, they have discard effects. So, discard a card, gain 1 intangible. When this is discarded, exhume and exhaust this card. Okay. And then, Trisukta here, this is, as I said, this is one of the Mannadiums. They are the last archetype. They have this, synchro setup where they use cards that represent the other emotions as that live in little orbs on the tree that is made when Vsauce takes all 4 of the emotions into his body. I'm gonna be doing this a lot, by the way. Channel 1 random Mannadium orbs. Deal 18 damage. Let's take crime. Oh, it's nice to not be on a timer and be able to talk about all this. Okay. The buff is random. I see. This too is the emotion gained at the start of the turn. I thought it was gonna be like plus a strength or plus a, you know, like. Alright, well. Let's go ahead and gain the intangible. We want to gain other Tearlaments cards that want to be discarded. This has a discard outlet and a 1 turn of intangibility. Alright. Mannadium reframing. This is, oh god, Prime Heart? Doing like a rider kick on the embodiment of Wrath. Evoke your next orb, deal 13 damage, inflict. Wow, this is 1 cost. I will take. Veda Kalanta. This is the entity that broke Vsauce into emotions into different beings. Again, I mentioned that this is a lot of the cycle of samsara, the journey of Vishnu. Costs 1 less each time you lost HP. This costs 0. Evolve to Veda Karakanam. If X is less than 4, gain X and shuffle this card in your drop pile. Otherwise, stun and exhaust. Okay, that's a stun that costs a correct amount. Sure. And then Kashtira overlap. Exhaust a card, gain 9 vigor. Kashtira, as I mentioned, deal with banishing. They like to self-banish cards. They like to banish opposing cards. They like to deal with banished cards. I'm gonna take reframing, though. This is wildly strong. Uh-huh. Alright, we don't need to play crime here. There's no point in being intangible. That doesn't count as the discard. And that's correct. The discard on Tearlaments cards that matters is... Oh no, I can't play this without some... Uh-oh. Do I need an orb? Okay, that makes the balance on that card make sense. I understand now. We need to find an orb for that to generate to eat. That okay. We don't have, but like that makes the balance on it make sense. That card wouldn't have, you know. Yeah. We're just taking 1 point. We have a Dex. We can fix up our deck at the next store. Hopefully we can buy some orb generators, likers, havers. Let's just defend. I should have had alarm bells going off when it was too good to be true, right? Alright. Mannadium creature? And here's the orb. So you can see this orb that's on the tree. This is one of this is Mannadium Meek. Start of your turn, inflict weak on an enemy creature? Evolves into a specific elite, okay. Of Stars and Frost, discover a heart. So the hearts are these creatures that are... You can see Reichheart here. That's Reichheart, right? Reichheart, Rhinoheart, Riseheart. This is Reichheart, who becomes the little Funko Pop Lightheart. They're 15, 21 monsters that have like a search effect on them in a special summon condition. They all work similarly. And here's Lightheart. Hey, look at little buddy. I love Lightheart. Lightheart is a Scareclaw from the Fear. Whenever you play this card, return this card. Whenever you play a card, return this card from your discard pile to your hand. Wow. Okay. That's really good, obviously. Scareclaws tend to be cheap and become better if you play other cards first. Okay, that fits. The way Scareclaws work is they can all summon themselves if there's a Scareclaw next to them. Like an open spot next to a Scareclaw. So you play a Scareclaw and then you get to play the rest of your Scareclaws and do things. I feel like I want to pick up the Mannadium cards to make my stuff work. Let's enter in on that as the plan. Thank you. What a great thing to go on. Kashtira, prep. This is the trap one of you play with Ogre. When you're attacked with Flicker Weak, Tearlaments Merly. Gain 7 block, mill 2 cards. So the Tearlaments work when discarded by mill or from hand. When discarded, evolve, shuffle a card in your discard. That's funny. So you get to evolve as the fusion that happens when Merly goes off. Lose 1 health, 2 times affected by strength. Gain 2 strength. Okay. Here's Riseheart. This is the Kashtira Vsauce. If you played a different Kashtira card this turn, evolve to a Riseheart. A Riseheart is the very powerful boss of the Kashtira deck. Yeah? So, this is saying an evolution. That's this mod's way of dealing with extra deck monsters. This is what happens when you go, like, you go into Muddy Mud Dragon, in tier sometimes. I think the drawback is that this doesn't fit in any of the archetypes. I'm gonna buy it and see what, that seems fine. I'm also gonna buy Merly. We're gonna try and focus. This feels like one I would really like to play multiple times because I'd like to focus on the different archetypes. Clear any will, discard a strike. We got a strength this time. Alright, so I'm gonna play Tearlaments Crime, discarding Merly. We shuffle back Merly, and that brings Merly to Fusion Summon into Kitkalos. Kitkalos in Tearlament is another... the other thing that Tearlament has going on is that it's a self-mill deck, and then has a bunch of things that trigger off self-mill. Fun fact about Tearlament, if you were to play, like, Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh!, they're the best deck possible. They're like, there's like playable decks in Vintage, and then there's Tearlament that beats every single possible other like just unreal. Deal 18 damage, discover a Tearlament creature when discarded mill 3, and then we also see Rukalos there, who is another fusion of the Tearlaments deck. Rukalos has the effect to resummon, I think, is that one. Which is why it has a discard, pick it back up for 0. I love to just be explaining all these Yu-Gi-Oh things. Okay, so if I go... Kitkalos, that's not enough damage to win. Yeah, okay. Oh, it evokes the orb and we get the orb back. That's cute. Okay. We keep getting the orb. Sure. Fruit juice, thank you. Realm energy, lose 1 health twice. Sorry, elegy, not energy. Sharp Sarga, shuffle your hand, drop on. Okay, that's a mulligan. And then Scareclaw Cache. This is the Kashtira, like, using the other. We have what there's like Scareclaw Cache and Tearlaments Cache and such. So this has like a cares about the Kashtira side because it has a when exhausted effect. I'm gonna pass on this. Sheriff Sarga. Nah, yeah, we'll skip. Alright. Have a drink. Clear New World. Can you get me a... Alright, let's get Meek going, shall we? Start turn. Evoke, add Meek back to hand. So, a metallicize 1. Okay. I'm not going to use Crime because I'm going to try and combo Crime with Merly. So there's Merly. We can go... Merly, mill 2. Okay, that didn't mill any. Let's go Clear New World, discard the Strike, and then we'll Mud Dragon. We get to keep weak on Lagavulin the whole time. That's pretty powerful. And then we get Reframing. I think we're just going to go Reframing, replay Meek, defend. Take a little bit of a lump. Alright, we don't need to defend on this turn, and our redraw, hopefully we can redraw Crime plus Merly. Kashtira Unicorn? So, the other important thing about how Kashtira play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that the first Kashtira, you can special summon a Kashtira from your hand if you have no monsters. So, they cost 0 if it's the first creature you play. Hey, Malmet. Yeah, we are playing a specific set of archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! After our first stream bit. This is the second mod we played today. The first one was, I hope you like, I hope you like Time Limits. Because that was our first one. We had a Time Bomb set. Let's just play Crime here. Our Metallicize for 1 blocks it. We got Mud Dragon. Block Strike. We take 1. That's fine. But yeah, our first stream, our first class we played a little earlier today was one that was very much balanced around the speed that it played at. You had a 90-minute time limit for it, and it spent time. Okay. Mud Dragon again. Scareclaw Twin Saw. Ooh, that's cute. 2 damage twice for each card played this turn. The Scareclaw cards want to have other cards played. Tearlaments Grief. Again, the Tearlaments have sadness as the emotion that that kind of governs them. This feels right in Tear. Wow, that upgrade's incredible on Grief. I cannot stress how powerful Tearlament as a deck is in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. 69 bucks. We can probably buy a card or remove a card. Amritara. Draw until your hand is full. Exhaust all cards in your hand. Upgrade all cards. This is the thing. Can we escape the cycle of Samsara? Havness? Deal 8 damage. Mill 2 cards. When discarded, evolve. Shuffle in. So the Scareclaws are all different fears. The three little Scareclaws, Bologna, Acro, and... Why's the third one not in my mind? I play this deck. It's just not there. It's the other... because there's the flying one, there's the piercing one, there's the damage one, and there's the attacks one. Whatever. We're buying Havness here. Exhaust a card, Kashtira prep, Apotheosis. Yeah. Let's... 3 fears, bombs, rope, lamp oil. Of course. So, as you can see, we're building a deck around the tier stuff. Merly mills 2 on play when you mill Merly or Havness or Grief or Crime. Astra, thank you. I figured somebody had to know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm glad somebody does. Okay. We get a strength on this. Let's... Oh! Clear New World also works with the tier cards. That's nice. When you commit mill crimes. The mill crimes are real crimes. Okay, so Havness, Grief, Muddragon. Let's go. Havness, mill. Select a card. Oh, so we milled Merly off of Havness, which means the game's over. We're gonna shuffle in Merly so that we have Kit Kalos in the deck now. Muddragon, and then Lop you. And then we're gonna draw into Kit Kalos. And so... God, Reframing's such a cool looking card. Kashtira Birth, add a random Kashtira to your hand. It costs 0 this turn. Birth is a card that says target a cache, search a different one. Meta Noise? Inflict weak, gain 8 block, gain 1 on, and then here's world. This is the worlds coming together after all 4 of the emotions have been placed back into. Birth is the continue. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, you're sorry. Birth is the one that lets you summon a 7 from your hand without playing, and recurse from grave. Theosis is the one that searches one that's a different one than the one you already have. Would Sky trigger the tiers? Yes. And I would pick that, but I want to have like more tier names. I think are going to work for us when we mill these. They're going to have more effects. This is also a really good blocking card. I'll take Singing Bowl. I know there's 4 options, but like there's definitely going to be times where we just don't have anything super... High face falls. So the upgrade on Crime is 2 intangible. Reframing obviously needs Meek. Meta Noise goes to 10 block, 2 weak. Oh my god, Havness goes to 0 on upgrade? Hello? Yeah, sure, I'll make Havness cost 0. That sounds fine. I want to cut all the strikes and defense out of this deck. Hi, buddy. We can't... Alright, I'm gonna clear world, discarding... Defend? See if we can't get the power for reframing. Alternately, it would be like Crime. I don't want to play Crime here is the thing. Like, Crime on this turn doesn't do anything. But if I discard Crime, I don't search that type. I don't search a power. Yeah, clear new world, discard, defend. There's Meek. And then we're going to spend the orb so that we can get that active. Yeah, it exhausts and there's nothing to recur, so there's no point in discarding Crime. I'm going to put the regen potion up. So we have weak on, we have the weak meek on. That'll stay on. Havness? Help me out here. Yeah, Havness, shuffle Merly back in. We also milled, Mannadium, right? Or no, sorry, what gave us 8? Oh, I can't see the unupgraded one on that, what that actually does on the mill. Evolve, shuffle, okay, now we're good. That's fine. I'm excited to be playing, like, discard loops. So there's Kit Kolos, Kit Kolos in. So we can either add Havness to our hand. So Havness, Sheeran, and Merly are the 3 Tearlament little mermaids you can see on Metanoise. Rhino Heart is the aspect of Vsauce that like rules with fear. Kaleido Heart is the like big version of him. Mill up to 1 card of your choice except Rhino Heart, which is what the card does when you play it normally. And it can recur when discarded. Let's pick up Sheeran. Let's evolve Kit Kolos to Rukolos? There's Rukolos, 27 damage, upgrade all tier cards. So, ooh, that'll be good. Hopefully that doesn't... Alright, so evoke, again, we learned with the Mannadium cards that this evoke your next orb is a necessity. You have to have an orb to evoke, otherwise this card is like way undercosted, obviously. Pressure Planet Wraithsoth. This is the Kashtira field. Is what Wraithsoth is. Tearlaments Heartbeat? I love the little buddy. Worlds is 1. Deal 3 damage, gain 3 block, inflict Vul and Weak on all enemies. Oh, this is this is overcosted, but it does everything. That's very cute. Like, I'm gonna take Heartbeat because I think we're just playing tier stuff. And then, damn. Okay, fine. That was the most likely outcome. What you gonna do? I'm gonna block 3 times. Yeah, because Worlds is 1 has like does everything, so it scales off everything, which is obviously nice. Let's deal some damage. 1 plated armor, very funny. So here's our weak. We've got Meek. Meek upgraded, I think, is going to be a necessity in this deck. If I go Havness, Mill, Merly. Okay, we milled and got some extra energy. Grief. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Let me pick up the Meek. I'm liking the play patterns this has. Discard decks are hard to make work, I feel like, in Slay the Spire. So having these cards that work the way the cards do, where they have a mill effect and they have an effect when milled, like, kind of removes a lot of that drawback, as it were. That didn't do anything, it just exhausted crime. Doesn't matter, we're at 10 here. Avernus. I need some more named. Astra. There's Astra, yeah. If you played a card this turn, gain 1. So we can get another Grief, we can get another Meta Noise, we can get a Scareclaw cache. The little light heart in the top left on this one. Let's take another Grief. Alright. We get time to set up here, which is great. We got Meek to start. Let's go Grief. Draw 2, discard Merly. Merly, shuffle Merly in to upgrade to Kit Kolos. We can spend our turns, like, setting up our board, as it were. Upgrading our okay. No, this feels good. Okay, so we can go reframing. Havness Mill. Meek Strike. Now, I think our deck still has Kid Kolos and Crime. So I could just go Crime, discard Grief, Kit Kolos, get Sheeran, nothing left to mill. Okay. This doesn't do anything, that's fine. Let's see if we can get a little better. Sheeran will deal 12, deal 9, 38. I think I need to play defense. Okay, got some block off that. Oh, we can full block because we milled, that was us milling, Grief, right? Yeah, that was us milling Grief. Nice. Grief, Meta Noise, Crime are the spell traps of the deck. They specifically have recursion pieces on them. Ooh. Trasukta would give us another way of... Oh, Celiac. Whenever you play a Tearlaments, mill 1 and gain 0 block with the discarded, upgrade this card. I like the gain 0. Trasukta could keep us with some of the other Mannadium pieces. That's funny, this is like a sort of free-ish upgrade. Hey, buddies. Yo, okay, you're just coming in hot then. Let's get rid of one of you. And then we're gonna discard Grief. I need to upgrade Clear New World to be free. I like the card way better when it is. It's our orb. Fearless. So Fearless is the one related to the Scareclaw group. What can I upgrade Trisuka into? Okay, that just lets us recur. Sure, that just lets us put Trisuka back in the deck. That's fine. Because that's already a synchro we're not upgrading into. But, you know, like, that lets me replay it, and then we got Meek back. Here's Fearless. Most elites do evolve into themselves. Kit Kalos is an exception, because Kit Kalos is the one you use to go into Rukalos. Scareclaw Nova, add a random Scareclaw creature to your hand. This adds Astra or Acro or Bologna. Mannadium Breakheart. Give him the Rider Kick. Tearlaments Heartbeat and Tearlaments Grief. Alright, we want to start removing... Alright, so let's upgrade Clear New World. There are some other upgrades that are pretty obvious to me as we... Wow. Damn. Grief, by the way, is an upgrade. I think that's wild. Unreal. This also becomes free, but it becomes a draw 3, discard 1. So any copies of Grief we want to upgrade. Merly's fine. Meta Noise is fine. Heartbeat, I want 1. Meek, I would like an upgraded Meek. But I want to... If I want Clear New World to be playable, I need it upgraded. Alright. Draw 2. Discard Heartbeat. Fearless for the card draw? Sure. Blur? Wait a minute. Oh, I missed that we have Blur as our... Interesting. Let's go... Clear New World, discard... Heartbeat, search Crime. Is it not going because it's like discarding as a cost? I suppose cost is discarding isn't effect discarding, and that's how these are supposed to go. Because this is an effect discard. So let's go Crime, discard Strike. Okay, it was 1 turn of Blur. But we got the Fearless Orb, so... Alright, does the deck currently have a tier name in it? No. Okay, Havness, Merly, play Meek. So now we've got Meek active and we got Fearless active. We're missing the other orb, which would be, ooh, that's awkward. This is fine. Clear New World, discard this strike. Go get Grief. Grief, discard Heartbeat. Heartbeat didn't go... Heartbeat should go off there. I would expect Heartbeat to go off there. Weird. Discard Merly, and then we can... Ooh! We can shuffle in Fearless to upgrade that? I'm gonna do that instead. That's still not where I want to be. So right now the deck contains... okay, we're gonna go Kit Kalos. That's Tearlaments Cash. When discarded, mill 1 card. That is what the card does. And it has an exhaust play for the Kashtira side. Alright. Offense. We got the weak still up. Get close. Get close for Merly. Merly, Mill 2. Nope, no names. We'll just heartbeat for the block there. We're not going fast on offense here. Like, I have the auto weak going on, but I need to remove so many strikes in defense from this deck. Alright, this costs 3 on normal. Two copies of Meek don't do much. This is kind of bad. The mill sort of lets us bypass those a little better. Okay. Reframing, pick up Meek, Havness Mill, Grief, discard this burn, get some more damage going. I want to upgrade Reframing at some point, because the 2 Vuln on there. Sukta and defend. We take a chunk of damage here. 25 left. That's too many burns. Okay, we get the extra card draw from Fearless back. We also get the energy from Art of War. Grief, discard the burn. Ah, here we go. Kit Close, thank you. Get us out of this game, please. Kid Close actual. Oh, this is hilarious. We have a couple of the hearts. Tri-Heart is the upgraded, is like the boss Scareclaw. Repeat for each card you've played this turn. If your hand isn't empty, gain. Wow. Arise Heart, repeat for each exhausted card. So we see that the hearts seem to have a running theme. We saw like there's the other one that's like repeat for cards played. I actually don't think that was a heart on Tri-Art. Tearlaments Scream. Ah. Mill 2 cards when you play a Tearlament card. All enemies lose 1 strength for the rest of the turn. This card has the effect of giving -500 to I could have picked the Kid Coloss, but you know, get him out of here. I don't want to see him. 1, 2. Okay. Looks like, nope, that's not the line. It is better to take this line. Or we could take this line and get 2 fires. Those look like our options. Let's evaluate when we get up there. Okay, we can go, we got a Dex this round. Give me an orb, and then I'll just go ahead and heartbeat to block. Orb is Torrid. Ah, okay. +2 strength. That's a nice random orb to have. Set up Meek, Mud Dragon, Strike. Mud Dragon's very funny to be in here. It'd be like having, like, Garuda in here. Maybe that is. Okay. Mill 2 off Scream. Let's put Merly back in. Havness. And I don't really want to play skills into the Hex. I always appreciate a mod that can play an adaptation of, like, a thing in a really, like, interesting way. And this is definitely, like, hitting that line for me. Where, like, because I know how Kashtira and Tearlaments and Scareclaw and such play, the cards make sense. But also, like, the cards also, like, kind of play their way as well in, like, ways that Slay the Spire works. So... appreciate that. Scareclaw... wow! Oh! Well, I talked about acrophobia, astrophobia, and ballonophobia. The fears for the Scareclaws. This is like... God's weakest Scareclaw board. Like... I'm just gonna take 2 health. Like, these are fine, but... remove all block... hold on. Hold on, this actually might be worth the slot. The fact that it's free... it's like adding another strike. Yeah, I'll take 1 of it. Alright, shop. Smooth stone. Oh, fully upgraded Veda. This is the exhaust one. Evoke your next orb, gain 14 block. Again, this needs you to have a... so, the way these work in Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, to talk about the translation and why this has to evoke an orb, these Mannadium cards destroy a Mannadium monster you control to do things, and the Mannadium orbs all have on destruction summon a thing. And so that's kind of their setup, is where they pop the orbs to do, like, to summon other orbs and such. So, we're gonna remove a defend. And we're gonna buy these, I think. I'll save the rest of our cash. In case we get a shop in one of these question marks. But... +1 vigor. Thanks. 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 That's exactly what I needed. +1 vigor. You know what? You got it. That's what I wanted. What a buff. Alright, Scream. Clear new world, discard meta noise? Some discards don't trigger Tearlaments, it's weird. I know, so in Yu-Gi-Oh! They do need to be discarded for an effect, not for cost. But, like, there are some in here that, like, that just don't seem to be doing what I expect them to do, you know what I mean? Like, clear new world, discarding Heartbeat. I would expect to tutor and draw, but it doesn't seem to do that. It just seems to... tutor instead. It might be the timing of when the mill happens, something like that. Are you running with my cash? You are not running with my cash. 0. This one health. Strength. Scareclaw alternative. Fearless. I'm sorry. This is text. Affects some cards strangely. you know, I don't know. Like, you'd think that, like, Fearless would turn into, like, Prime Heart or something like that. Okay, let's go... Scream. Put the Merly... Or put the Havness back. Merly... Can reframing. Crime? Yeah, like that didn't draw. Sadistic nature? Yeah. Thanks. Kitkalos? Give me... Rhinoheart? Rhinoheart? Mill my copy of Grief? So, Rhinoheart has the text on summon, choose a Tearlaments card and mill it, and then it obviously triggers my draw pile is empty. Merly Mill? Sure. It's gonna take a little while to get down through this, but we're... Give me Merly. Let me mill Grief. Discard Grief, tutor. Ah, I didn't want. I wanted Bologna there. Yikes. We don't have great scaling right now. I've got, like, cards that, like, so, you know, supposed to do things on their, like, milling each other and such, but we don't have, like... And then I'm gonna put Meek back. That should give me another copy of... Oh! Sorry, putting Meek back this is not the... That was just put a creature back. That was the fusion on Rhino Heart to Kaleido Heart. Okay. That's way better, actually. Mill 3, and then mill Kaleido Heart, and then Kaleido Heart? Yeah, alright. That's pretty good. Kaleido Heart, a little strong, I think. Alright, kid close. Sheeran? I actually... Ooh, and World Formation, which is kind of wild in this deck in particular. I think... Scareclaw Defang. Huh. God, there's so many cards I want to upgrade. It's wild. I want like 1,000 upgrades. I'm gonna take the relic. I was thinking about the getting 2 cards transformed there as a way to get cards out of the deck. Alright, we want the upgrade on... Sheeran to 0. Let's take the upgrade on Grief. Grief seems like such a strong thing to be upgrading. Okay. Crime. Yeah, I could reframing, but like that's not. Let's go Trisukta, give me an orb. And we can oh! Yeah, never mind, hold on. We absolutely want that. Havness hits everyone. Havness? You got anything for me? Havness, shuffle in this Merly. That will get us a copy of Kit Kalos into the deck. Sheeran, get you off the table. Grief, draw, discard, Meek. Clear New World, Tutor. Oh, hello. Okay. That was feeling pretty good. So take a little bit of a lump, but like we're gonna be getting through this fight next turn. So strike you down, Sheeran you, and Heartbeat the block. Then we get to keep the weak on you for the rest of the fight. Yeah, this is great. Kit Kalos, give me Sheeran, finish off the fight. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, we don't have a copy of Rhino Heart. Real. I would like a copy of Rhino Heart. Rhino Heart mills any card other than Rhino Heart, which lets us trigger any tier effect. And then also, when discarded, we pick Rhino Heart back up. If Rhino Heart is fused up, we get to go to Kaleido Heart, and we saw how powerful Kaleido Heart was, so. I keep passing up on the world formation, and like that seems like such a cool one to have. Rhino Heart upgraded is just more damage. Sheeran upgraded goes to 0. Scream upgraded goes to 0. We have another Grief, I think, though. Yeah, let's get another Grief. I think these upgraded are the strongest upgrades in the deck right now. Take the key. Nunchaku's fine. Nunchaku's good. Nunchaku works in this deck, but I'm gonna make sure, damn sure I get the key. I'm not gonna miss another heart because I'm sitting here going too fast. Okay, so clear New World. Discard Merly. That'll trigger Merly. Merly, shuffle in, make Kit Kalos. Scream, mill. Get. Oh, we have 1,000 cuts. Havness, mill. Return Havness to the deck. Now we have 2 copies of Kit Kalos. Can I draw into one of those? Discard Meta Noise. Play the Meek. This has got fun combos. These are all decks that I have like reasonable experience playing in Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. They're like new, but not like last like couple of years new. Like they're yeah, give me Havness here. Okay, and then Rhino Heart for free. Pick up. We're gonna mill Kit Kalos to mill the rest of the deck. It's starting to feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Lines. But what of Tearlaments? Mannadium Imaginings. This is so strong, but we need an orb to eat. So this is Reichphobia. This is the Scareclaw field spell. Whenever you play a Scareclaw card, deal 1 damage to all enemies for each card played this turn. Wow, this turns your Scareclaw plays into some nonsense. Pressured Planet Wraithsoth is the Kashtira field we talked about. Creature. They did show up in progression, yes. That was where I had a really strong Scareclaw deck in progression, and I know folks had like a lot of, like, all of these were like things around in there. Tier. I'm gonna take World Formation. I want 1 copy of World Formation. Someday when we get to the end of, yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Alright, what book? So, Necronomicon has some things to do Trasukta double, but also all of the fusions that we have in our deck, Kit Kalos, Kaleidoheart, etc., are big. I will take Enchiridion. I love this one. Like, Enchiridion gets work done. It's... Yo! Alright. Primeval Planet, Perlino. Whenever you play a Tearlaments cards, deal 2 damage to all enemies and +1 strength. Sure. I'm gonna go... Grief. Discard. Strike. Now we're gonna go World Formation? That gets Rhino Heart back. Rhino Heart, mill... Sheeran effect. Sheeran Rhino Heart back in. That gets us a Kaleido Heart. Grief. Grief, discard, defend. The Lone. Crime, discard, defend, and then we'll just go ahead and Mud Dragon here. I want to upgrade Crime for a second intangible at some point. Okay, so we've got Havness Mill, Meek back in. That gets us. That also gets us Kaleido. Oh, damn. I need to find a way to discard Kaleidos is the big thing. Like, they obviously want us to be discarding them to get the freebie out of them. There we go. Grief. Grief, discard Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart recurs at 0. And that's the end of the fight, right? Heartbeat. I could remove cards forever, huh? Kashtira Big Bang. Yeah. We got Vsauce fighting a Rise Heart here. Kashtira Unicorn. The Kashtira main decks, Unicorn, Fenrir, and Ogre, are all, like, terribly strong cards for, like, the progression of where Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gone. They summon themselves for free if you have no monster in play. All have reactive abilities if your opponent takes action, or they attack, and are all just huge. Honestly, I could just pick a copy of Unicorn to have in the deck. It is free if it's the first creature I play, if I haven't put any creatures down. think it's really funny your commentaries drifted away from Slay the Spire was proper nouns to more Yu-Gi-Oh jargon. The deck has slid that way, hasn't it? As our deck removed strikes and defends and has become more a pile of Tearlaments cards, that is what it is. I'm just gonna take the HP. Don't hate Big Bang, but yeah, our deck is a lot more set up. We have a little bit of the orb likers with reframing and Trisukta and copy of Meek. I'm not happy with all these in here, but I'm not going to remove them. But you can see all these cards that have a win discarded, and that's really what the deck is about, with a little bit of support around it. Okay. We can get another Havness. That's another mill liker and a mill. I also can remove another strike. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Always costs 50. I'll take a copy of Havness in the deck, and I think that's all. We still have upgrades I want. Scream upgrade. World formation upgrade is also real. I'm gonna take crime upgrade. 2 intangible. Alright, start with Slick. Win discarded, upgrade this card, so we need to find a way to discard this. God, I don't have any way of discarding cards in hand right now, though. That's fine. We're gonna go ahead and mill... Copy of Havness. Havness return Rhino Heart. Oh, and Sheeran. Sheeran return Havness. So that gives us the Kit Kalos and the Kaleido Heart. The Kit Kalos from the Havness and the Kaleido Heart from the Rhino Heart. Scream I'll get down, and then... Keep our strength. This is a very, very different, like, mod compared. Oh! Clear New World, discard Kaleido Heart? And then Kaleido Heart for 0? Like, the world we are in compared to where we were in the last mod, where we're playing, like, such a different style of game with these, and, like, the mod build is also just such a different style. Let's put Balone back? That gives us Tri-Heart because this was Balone. Isn't this the most broken deck in Yu-Gi-Oh history? Yes. All of the Tearlaments have like self-mill effects and cards that like being self-mill. This is effectively Dredge. If I'm comparing it to a Magic deck, this is Dredge. The full power like Tearlament deck with like Agito and Friends legal is the like. If you were doing like historic decks or like vintage decks, it's just the best deck. Because of the way it operates with self-mill and like all hands feed into themselves. Yeah, weird. Dredge that powerful in multiple games? Weird. Sweet, we got reframing. Let's go World Formation, mill all of these. If that card's just mill 5, I'm happy with it, I'll be honest. I'm gonna put a Kit Kalos back to get a Rukalos. Hello, Rukalos. The thing is, we've seen Dragon Rulers, they've all been taken off the ban list. In more modern days, they don't have the heat. They were, like, top dog in their day, and the levels of recursion and, like, pieces that they do in every zone are very powerful. But they don't match up to what modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Looks like, as far as, like, standards of board building and starters. They are very good at self-starting. That's something I think that's really strong with them, but... Oh my god, that milled the Kaleido Heart? Okay. They're certainly immensely powerful, but, like, but I don't think that they match the level of consistency. Actually, well, okay, there are the new rulers. That actually might help the consistency levels a lot. I was gonna say the fact that you only have, like, 12 of them, whereas, like, with the Tearlaments, you only have the 12 names in deck, but you have a lot of support around them. We want to go, like, Merly, Shuffle and Merly, Tryhard. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, Zephyr. You're right. I was thinking about, like, the 2014 deck, not the more modern deck. And the moment I thought about that, it's like, wait a minute. Like, that changes the math on this significantly. You're right. Okay. 24 coming in. Do I have a way to discard Kaleido Heart? No, not in this hand. Well, maybe. Well, this gets a creature. Can't kick Colossus and Kaleido Heart in the same turn. Okay, that's enough block. And the Vuln on there means we're just good. We milled Kaleido Heart. Okay, what? Hi, Fenrir. Fenrir's the killer of the Kashtira names. This is the one that gets splashed outside of decks because of its ability to be summoned on an empty board and its removal text of whenever your opponent activates an effect or this card attacks, banish a face-up monster face down. Makes it like disruption along with a very powerful inflict 2 slow. Wow. Hold on, this rules. So, Locus Samsara, this is Veda watching Vsauce on the journey. You can see all the different card arts. You can see Lightheart on the left there, and Veda watching as Vsauce regains and, like, you know, combines back with his emotions. We can just get a Frozen Eye. That's hilarious. But yeah, Fenrir, still a real card. Very splashable. Came at the throne of Pankratops and does well in that. This is very funny. I love this, especially with the art. Like, the Panopticon. It's, so here's the thing. Frozen Eye, especially with the setup we have, very powerful with Tearlaments, because we would get to know what we're gonna go, right? Like, it actually does have an effect. Like, we now know, like, oh, should I go for a draw? Should I go for a mill? Is my self-mill gonna work? What's the follow-up gonna be? I'm gonna take another Scream. Yeah, sure. Well, that's fine. Not a lot of those are cards I want to be playing, but I had to take the roll of the dice anyway. Alright. Hi, I'm gonna remember to grab my damn, key. Taking this route. I'm gonna grab our key at the first bonfire. Usually I don't, Path to Samsara. Okay, let's go, Scream, Crime, discard, Merly. And that'll affect Merly, we'll flip Merly back in, and then, don't need to placate. Generally, I like to grab, so, as a rule, I like to grab the key at the second to last bonfire, so this one right here, so that I have options at the last one, which is why I no longer think of it as a default at the last one. I think of it as a default at the one before. But I think we had to, like, heal on that, so it was a little funky for me. Anyway. Oh! Yo! I've played a... Well, I'll take that. That's fine. Let's go ahead and exhaust Realm Eulogy. Sheeran. And then... So the way Reichart works is that Reichart can summon itself if there's a Scareclaw, and then if there's 3 in defense, it draws a card. Maybe I'll do a Yu-Gi-Oh stream to show off these decks a little more in comparison next to them. I can pull that up after this. I can pull that up just as a little comparison point at the end of this. That's maybe something fun to do. Drasukta lets me reframe. Grief is free. Grief is free. We should do Grief first. Grief, discard. Huh. This is still in deck. Discard Kit Kalos. Return Kit Kalos. And then Kit Kalos is now Rukalos in the deck. And when Rukalos is milled to the Havness, we're gonna get Rukalos, deal 31 damage to you. Then I can go ahead and Tearlaments Grief again to reset the deck. We're gonna discard Meta Noise. Then we're gonna Rhino Heart discard the Rukalos. And we're gonna ignore once for turns, baby. Once per turn who? Ooh. I'm a lot more excited about picking up Scareclaw alternative if it costs 0 as like a funny thing. You know? Let's try it. We're here to have fun, right? Alright. Kashtira prep whenever you're attacked. Weak on whoever hits you. That's fine. Alright. Scareclaw alternative? Let's upgrade Havness? That just goes to Kit Claws. Okay. That's just as expected. Put Kitkalos back. Rhinoheart milled. Put Rhinoheart back. Mill Rukalos. Rukalos into hand. Rukalos, upgrade all cards. And then we'll remove all debuffs, which includes the -3 strength from the end of turn mutagenic growth. Judging by the name, I bet that some cards are all Scareclaws. Maybe. Maybe it lets us go into you know, there's some possible weird things around. We just have this from Rhinoheart. Trevor Karma, hi. Trevor Karma usually isn't played as a card activation. It has a search effect on the like, if it's in the grave, it searches a field. This is the field spell for Tearlaments that isn't played, basically, over the other one that we have. However, it does have the very silly yay in the back. We start with strength, so the card doesn't do anything for us. All right, Scareclaw twins, play different cash. Let's go ahead and remove some of the more useless ones of these. Big Bang just isn't anything, I think, to me. I'll buy a waffle. I forget which card is Fenrir before the Rizar put the visor on. I believe it's a Super Quant. A more modern card from the last year or so. It's like Super Quant Black. Super Quant. Oh, is it just red? Okay. Like, my gut says that it's one of those. It's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Go in. Sheeran back in deck. Grief. Grief discard. Kitkalos? Merly? World Formation. Discard 5. We're going to shuffle Kitkalos back in. We're going to Rhinoheart. Get Rukalos attack. Upgrade all of our cards. And then we clear off the end of turn strength loss. That's our actual scaling. Because also the Torrid scaling is also very good too. Kashtira Ogre back in? Does that go into Shangri-Ira? No, that just goes to a Rizard. Deal 10 damage, repeat per exhausted card. Yeah, you got it, boss. Clear New World, discard the Realm Elegy. The Lone. Rukalos, get you out of here. Oh. I know I've said this before, and I continue to say this, and I will repeat it as much as needed because I feel it's an important piece of these streams, is that, like, one of the things I do want is for this to, like, be followable if you jump in and see, like, we have some combos going on here and what they're doing. If there's things that you're like, hey, what the hell's going on? I'm always up to answer that sort of thing. Like, what the hell's going on is a sometimes tricky business. We're gonna go ahead and mill... We're gonna go ahead and mill Merly. That'll trigger Merly to shuffle back in Rhinoheart. Rhinoheart gets shuffled back in and upgraded to Kaleidoheart. And then if I can Grief, and draw into... Damn. That's fine. If we can mill Kaleido Heart, it'll put Kaleido Heart back in our hand at 0. So, I don't need the weak potion. Sharf Sarga... Evolved Mud Dragon's neat. I'm gonna take the HP. Alright. Continuing on. Ice cream. Is ice cream worth it? I don't know that we end with extra energy. Well, we gain extra energy from other effects. I'm gonna believe in ice cream. And then we're gonna remove... like Realm Eulogy. Realm Eulogy... Ogre's funny, but like... yeah, let's get rid of Realm Eulogy. I think it's too expensive health-wise because we already have strength that we're gaining and it scales off that. Let's just grab them. I think we have 2 bonfires ahead, but I'm gonna grab that now while I'm thinking about it. Ice cream is always worth it. Source, yes. Can I discard this to a Grief? Okay, so let's see what happens when I discard this. So I'm gonna go Grief. We're gonna discard Celiac. That just upgrade. Oh, okay. That's fine. Rhino Heart, take you out. Rhino Heart, mill. Merly effect. Rhino Heart back in deck. Clear New World away. Meta. Then we can apply Scream. Ogre is free to do this turn. Let's go ahead and do that, and we're gonna hit Scream, and then we can go ahead and deal the rest of our damage. Ooh. Yeah, alright. Goodbye, baseball. World Formation upgraded. I think World Formation upgraded is worth it in the deck. 0 cost, mill 5. Again, Needlebug Nest is a card I'd play, right? Like... Rhino Heart upgrade is just damage. Havness upgrade is 2/0 cost. Right card upgrade. Merly upgrade is just a cost. We'll go Havness upgrade. Things like that to make the ice cream a little more appealing. Alright, we already have all 3 keys. Akbeko, that's fine. Real. Alright, we got some elites. Hey, Perlino. This is our Tearlaments, 1,000 cuts. I want to go Clear New World, discard Heartbeat. I guess I'm just gonna go Rhino Heart, discard Merly. Merly, put back Rhino Heart to get Kaleido Heart in the deck. And Kaleido Heart's our big one that gives the Vuln and the 3x. No reason to play that. I have Ice Cream now. I can, like, pass up on turns like that. Okay, Kaleido Heart in hand. No discard outlet for it at the mo. Scream. Put Merly back. World Formation. Okay, well, Let's take the hit. Bonk. That's the power of the Reptomancer. Kid Kalos. Kid Kalos grab Kashtira. Why does that not cost? Weird. Whatever. A few sort of funky things with this every once in a while. I'll take another Grief, because Grief upgraded is one of our best cards. Sometimes cards don't exactly work the way I expect them to. Yeah, I'll lose Balone. I don't think we have many targets left for it. I am healthy. Okay, we can go... Rhino discard, Merly, put Rhino back as Kaleido, Havness, mill, we might be passing here. Yeah, whatever. I had to think about that, but I think passing is fine. We get the Horn Cleat. There's Kaleido, and we have Grief, so we can go... Grief, discard Kaleido. Ogre as our first play. Exhaust this Grief. That just gets us Kid Kalos. So we can play Kid Kalos. That gets us Sheeran hit. That gets us a Grief. Good God. Kaleido Heart. Do we have enough damage to finish here? Oh, we're so close. Fine, okay. Not quite enough damage to get across the finish line. We actually deck out very easy with this, like just hitting 0. Would that be good here? This would have been horrible in the last... Okay, gonna be real with you. Calipers would be good here has been true of like 99% of the runs. The Priest, it would have been unplayable. Just wild that it would... I'll take another Rhino Heart. Okay, so we're gonna go... Rhino Heart, mill, Merly, put Rhino Heart back. Crime, discard Meta Noise. Sheeran mill 3. Put back Merly to get a Kit Kalos in deck. Yep, there's Kit Kalos. And then we'll play Reichart to get, Reichart will upgrade to Tryhard. Tryhard likes us to be playing a bunch of cards in a turn. A lot easier with the Ice Cream. If they changed Tungsten Rod, they must have changed Calipers too. That's true. We didn't see it in there, but it would have been funny what that ended up being. Well, everybody's intangible today, huh? One day a piece. Just, I'll pass. Thank you very much. Let's put the Voln on you. Calipers will be fine here. We'll get 2. World Formation? Mill these 3. Rhino Heart. Okay, Grief resets the deck. That's powerful enough for us. I can discard the burn. Scareclaw alternative? Then we just get Kaleido Heart to hand. Hell yeah. Kaleido Heart. World Formation. Put Kaleido Heart back? Put Tri-Heart back? Does that just put them back to... Yeah, that just puts... World Formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no once per turn on this? Ooh! Yeah, this truly is the path to Samsara. I'm all for the path to Samsara here. That's real as hell. Inflam. This is a pretty good one too. Obviously, it replays when we play a 0. Crime 2, more crime. I'll give us some more scaling. I think that we could use a little bit more of that. I think this is fine. We can remove, like... I don't know that alternative has done its funny thing. I'm gonna remove Rykard. That upgraded the Grief? Yeah, now we're talking. Alright. Hello, we have all our checks. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. As I've told you many a time, make every mistake exactly once. And well, we've made our mistake once, so I'm gonna keep that and hold it, you know? Merely upgrade is just more numbers. Reframing is something we're not really doing. Trisuka. We're finally at the point where I think we've hit all the upgrades I want. Scream? Scream or Trisuka? I'm gonna take Scream. I like everything being 0. We have the ice cream to carry over things. Alright, Donu Deco. Alright, so... Lead with an Ogre. We're just gonna... get rid of Meek. We can go ahead and play... the Path to Samsara. Ooh, that's really nice. Let's go Grief. Grief, discard Sheeran. That starts us up on the Sheeran movement, so now we have a Kitkalos in the deck. World Formation, Mill 5. Rhinoheart back in deck. Merly back in deck. Clear New World, discard Meta Noise. That gets us Havnus. Havnus, Mill 3. We've got Rhinoheart back. Channel the Meek. Play the Rhinoheart. Rhinoheart, discard Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart comes to hand as 0. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Grief again. We're gonna discard Trisuka. Then we're gonna go alternative on Kitkalos, which should bring it into the deck as... Oh no, that didn't go to Rukalos? I expected that to go up to Rukalos. Oh my god, we're gonna have to spend one of we're gonna spend that buffer. Whatever. Wait, that was our hand of Starfrost was a buffer? That's hilarious. Alright, deck resets, that's great. Let's go ahead and Scream. That gets back Rhinoheart. Rhinoheart, let's go ahead and mill a Havnus. Havnus. Let's go ahead and put the Rhinoheart back in. Scream 2, sequel to Scream. That mills a bunch, and then we're gonna go ahead and discover a Rhinoheart. World Formation, Mill 5. That gets us back our Kaleido Heart. And then we give you the Rider Kick, and the Rhino Kick. Let's mill this for Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart back over here. Alright. Thanks, Buffer. Ogre's free to play. We can get rid of the Mud Dragon. We aren't going to need that. Grief. Grief is still one of the best cards in the deck by far. Discard the Rhino Heart. Rhino Heart recurs. Rhino Heart attack. Mill Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart recurs. Kaleido Heart attack. Havness Mill. And then clear New World. Discard Heartbeat to draw an attack or a power. Grief? You got anything for me, Grief? Grief, discard Ogre. Kick Kalos, and that's the end. Alright. That's been Vsauce. That makes it time to place your bets. What do you think this one landed? The power of the Tearlaments combined with so one of the things with this class is that I feel like, much like we have with the different archetypes, there's a couple pieces that are intended as the glue to hold between them. Tearlaments, Kashtira, Scareclaw to Kashtira, playing to both sides. I don't know how, well all that plays, because I want, the Tearlament stuff definitely wants me to be playing very heavily in the Tearlament stuff. We'll take a look at things afterwards. I appreciate the consistency with how the cards play in the game, as well as, the way that, a discard plan like this really came together. Alright, looks like we've got numbers in. Strike the heart. 913. Malamet? Did Malamet's 901 do it? That does look like Malamet's 901 had it. I see a 900. I see a 927. That's too high. Yeah. Congratulations. Zabo, your 900 could have taken the double sweep if not for Malamet's 901. Congrats. This time we get the heart. Oh, our name is the World Voyager. That makes sense. We're going between. Yeah, so Zombo in the first, Malamet in the second. I don't think there's much for upgrade. Oh, I'll take the world formation to 0. That actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that immediately is something we can do. Abbey Pride. Yes, I know it's July. This is cute. It's also the art that has the little light heart pointing the way. This card's cost is reduced by 1 whenever you play a card. Okay, so that gets really cheap really quick. I don't think there's much I want to buy here. We can remove. We can buy some potions. Honestly, potions aren't bad. Is there a removal I care about? Maybe Meek, maybe reframing, maybe Prosukta. Play it a little closer to home. I don't think there's anything else. We could buy Scareclaw Twin. This is a trap that blows up 2 cards. You can have it as part of your end board and a reason. Ah! Gain 1 strength. It looks like there's some parts that work on, flipping between plans, but not a lot. It looks like you want to be doing one and committing, indeed. Alright, world formation, mill 5, please. I'm not even looking, I'm just milling 5 because I know that that's going to be, correct to do so. Mill Kitclose, which has a Mill 5 on it. Rhinoheart back in the deck. Yeah, well, I would love to see again what this plays if I'm focusing on Mannadium more, because there's the orb stuff, or focusing on the Scareclaw multi-card playing, where things like really like you playing like a Storm Count, or the Kashtiras. Like, we haven't done anything with we don't have cards that exhaust, so we're not playing with this area over here above my head. We'll discard Reframe. We're gonna World Formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gets us... Kitclose back? Kitclose back to Rooklos? Then we get Kaleidoheart back. 2, 3. Ogre's not quite enough. Let's clear New World, discarding the Ogre. And then we Merly, Mill 2. There's Rooklos. Upgrade everything. And then Heartbeat. And we've... That's turn 1. The normal Tearlaments experience. Just mill everything. Let's go... Yeah, World Formation, Mill 5. World Formation, Mill 5. Kaleidoheart. Grief. Then we go Havness, Mill. Let's put back Merly. Grief. Discard Rhinoheart back to hand for free. Rooklos. Mill. And then we're just milling everything. Alright. And then we're again. My draw pile is empty. This is the thought that goes through Vsauce's head at all times. Vsauce is always thinking this. Alright. The Haunt. What's our free buff? Ooh, Peaceful Planet. Galarium. Whenever you channel an orb, deal damage. I'm sorry, was it 1 Vigor? Was that our thing? Was our thing 1 Vigor? Okay. Sweet. Duplicate Scream. Sheeran back in deck. Rhinoheart, discard Merly. Merly, put back Rhinoheart. Grief? Discard Rhinoheart back to hand. Rhinoheart, discard Kaleidoheart to hand. Get the Vuln up. Discard. Five. Grief to reset. Discard Rhino Heart. Rhino Heart back to hand. Play Heartbeat. Play Havness? World Formation. Mill 5. Havness back in deck. Rhino Heart. Discard Kit Kalos. Havness. Kaleido Heart back to hand. And then we're gonna cry. Okay. I discarded my deck twice that turn. Oh, this is the worst draw in the history of draws, huh? I bricked. Like, why did I even put these 5 Gardens in my deck? What am I doing with all this garbage? Like, I can't believe we bricked this hard. Sure, I'm glad I have Intangible right now. I'll take 0, thank you very much. My deck has no pathetic card. Maybe 1 or 2. Anyway, 60 incoming. So, Path to Samsara. World Formation, discard 5. Let's put Kit Kalos back in to get the Rukalos. Play Heartbeat. Oh, I don't know if do I have a Kit Kalos engraved to be able to go up to a Rukalos? Not yet. Rhino Heart. Oh, I do have a Rukalos. Okay, we can get to that Rukalos at some point. So let's discard the Rukalos here to draw the Rukalos. Upgrade. Mud Dragon and Kaleido Heart. And then we're down to 48. We're taking a little bit of a lump. That's okay. I can't believe I didn't mill my whole deck that turn. What's wrong with this deck? If I'm not milling my whole deck every turn, what's even the point? Kashtira Ogre, exhausting that. Kit Kalos, go discover Rhino Heart? What's in deck? 2 Heartbeats. One Heartbeat, 1 Meta Noise. Discard Rhino Heart for free here. We get to draw the Meta Noise. And then now that we've reshuffled, we can go grab Kaleido Heart again. Kaleido Heart for free. And we have 10 Vuln. From here, we just go Meta Noise. Oh, we've made some mistakes, huh? Okay, well. I guess we're winning this turn. Yeah, scream. Don't worry, we'll just scream back down. It's okay. Rhino Heart, discard the Kaleido Heart I made. Kaleido Heart. Trasukta, please get us an orb and get us out of here. One of my favorite things. So, what happened there? The heart has an effect that puts it to 2 strength on its 4th turn. It will put it to 2 strength no matter. It's not +2 strength, it's set to 2. And then the Scream minuses wore off, so 2 became 12. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what art we have a million pieces of art to pull from, as we've seen in here. Let's see what we have. Are we pulling, like, Astral out? We have to be pulling, like, Samsara and the pieces from the end of the art, right? Uh-huh. Yep, yeah. Vsauce on the path through Samsara. That was a fun one. I'm interested in taking a look at what the class looks like in full. Again, I talked about the first one. I really like the first one. It's just something I think that, like, on stream feels terrifying. Hey, Prime Heart. This is the Prime Heart here is the one doing the rider kick on reframing. But yeah, so we have our different planets: Peaceful Planet, Pressured Planet, Primeval Planet, and the other one was uncommon, right? Scareclaw Planet. Yeah, Primitive Planet. But yeah, you know, Vsauce going through the Spire is actually, I think, fitting for the cycle of Samsara, for rebirth and fighting the, like, going through, you know, walking up the Spire and, you know, going through the cycle over and over again. Yeah, I think we saw most of the things. Try Hard is one of the payoff, like, we have the payoff pieces for the decks where, like, Scareclaw wants to play a ton of cards. Yeah, Mannadium's doing orb stuff. This one's very funny. We saw how the tiers play. So, okay. Kashtira Shangri-Era here. The way this card works in Yu-Gi-Oh! Whenever a card is banished, it gets to choose a slot on the board, and that slot becomes unusable. So in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have 5 monster slots, 5 spell trap slots, and then, like, you know, your extra deck and your field slots. Your extra monster EMZ and field slots. So, like, Shangri-Era, if you can set things up correctly with a couple of these, you can just block out the entirety of the board with enough, like, banish effects. Which is what this is doing based on number of cards exhausted. It's trying to, like, put the opponent in hell in the same way. So it's not doing the same thing because there is no same thing, but it's trying to do something that matches the idea. Yeah, Kaleido Heart, very powerful. Amritara, this one's funny. Worlds is 1, we saw this art at the end. This is our you know, the 4 worlds that we visited. The Scareclaw, Tearlaments, Mannadium, Kashtira. Do we have a card for Astrolaud? I don't think we saw a card for Astrolaud. Exhaust all Scareclaw creatures and elites in your hand. Deal total damage equal to their... Deal their total damage and gain their total block. Burn it. Burn them all. Yeah, so Riem Heart, this is the Mannadium Heart, the Mannadium Vsauce. We need Prime Heart and Trisukta as the 2 that go off. Rise Heart here, the Kashtira Vsauce Heart. goes up to a Rise Heart if we played another Kashtira card. Rhino Heart will, if we do the fuse up to it, goes up to it. Reichheart needs 2 other cards played. Okay, this is a lot more of a reasonable card on the unupgraded. It's like small bit. And then it becomes like Inflame plus Legwork plus Draw. That's cute, New World Stars. This was a fun one. I enjoyed playing this. I think this might have been a little hard to follow for like getting into if I wasn't familiar with the like archetypes themselves. But I do feel like at least when I was playing with Kashtira was like, you know, if you're familiar with like silent plans and some other mods, it comes fairly naturally. The evolve part is the weird part because that you have to like catch what that's actually doing. Oh, there is Vicious Astrolad. This must be one of the ones that you can make weird off of the 0 cost, the thing that like alternative. Astrolad you can summon by banishing its pieces from the grave, and it pops a monster. It's a strong extender and breaker for the deck. Anyway, that's it for today. Glad we got to do 2. As I said, like, happy with this one. I feel like it might have some trouble with like plans carrying over. That's not an uncommon bit with a mod, but in here where it's 4 different archetypes that the glue is not as true for, I can see being a thing. Well, you know, I'd have to give it a roll again, see how like orbs are doable. But anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna pull up. It's already gone a little longer than I had thought so. Look at the Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Don't want to do that tonight. I don't. No, I think I'm done for the night. I know that I've done that in the past. I know I played Scareclaw and Tear and such on there. Might put something on the end of this short bit, but no. I need to take off because I've been going for 2 full streams of Spire though. Anyway, but yeah, thank you all for joining. Hope you had a fun time. If you want to catch more, you can always follow, see when I go live. You get the Skull Eater emotes. If you subscribe, you get the cool skulls and slimes. Thank you to, that was a demo for the sub today. Appreciate that. Appreciate the Prime sub. Appreciate everybody being here. Hope you had a fun time with all this. We have so many Slay the Spire mods in the pocket for the future, so we'll be continuing those. This weekend, we don't have any plans for starting Look Outside. We'd finished up with Battle Network 6. I'm gonna try and find some time where I would like to do, like, maybe get in another Final Fantasy draft, maybe get in some other odds and ends. I have some ideas on my head. But if you follow, you get to know when that starts. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Good night, everybody.